So the following picture shall help me to explain it to you how the calibration of the instrument is done when you are switching to a set of new dials and a set of new needles. What you see here is a pair of regular instrument dials, the speedometer and the revolution counter, which were marked with a couple of colored lines. So let's take in particular the red, the left dial, which is the speedometer, and let's take a closer look. It has a green line which marks the 20 kilometers an hour position. It has a yellow line which is marking the 10 kilometers an hour position, and as you can see, the zero position is not quite symmetrical, in a sense that the angle between the 0 and the 10 kilometers an hour is slightly smaller than the angle between the 10 and the 20 kilometers an hour. Obviously the manufacturer didn't mark correctly the zero position on the dial for certain reasons, and this is a very important issue to determine the correct position of the new needles. So what I noticed when I opened this instrument panel is that of course you see there is a small hole near the zero, which is made for a small tiny plastic bolt which blocks the needle to get lower than the zero position when try to turn anti-clockwise. So I opened the instrument panel and just turned the needles with my finger clockwise till they stopped at 6 o'clock position, and then I powered on the instrument, so switched on the main contact, and then the needles, which were turned, both of them were turned to 6 o'clock position, set themselves in a position which is marked in both cases, the speedometer and the revolution counting dial, with a set of red lines, which are practically exactly symmetrical when you consider the symmetry axis of the two angles of the yellow line. And this should be the correct place putting on the new needles. This should be the correct zero position of the instrument. So suppose you are switching to a set of new dials, and for this I switched the picture. You see there is a set of Smith's Greyface replica dials which I made, and they have exactly the same non-symmetric distribution from 0 to the first 10 kilometers an hour, and from 0 to 500 RPM as on the old dials. So all you have to do then is to lay down these two dials on a table and take an instrument and measure exactly the angles. In particular for the speedometer dial, the angle between the 10 kilometer and 20 kilometers an hour position, and then mark symmetrically, trace symmetrically the blue line, and mark it somehow with a small pencil or a tiny piece of scotch tape on the instrument dial, and do the same for the revolution counter dial too. So when you fix these two dials in the instrument panel and power on the instrument panel, then all you have to do is take the two needles and position them in a way that they should cover the blue lines which were marked somehow on your dial previously. And that's it. The calibration is practically done. All you have to do is switch off the instrument panel and turn with your fingers the needles anti-clockwise till they block themselves by the bolt which is mounted to the marked zero position on the dial. This way these instruments are correctly calibrated, and you can close the whole panel, and simply all the job is done. I shall show you exactly in my next video how is this done practically.